It's September 16th, 2013. It's 9:51 in the morning. I'm just out of bed by a few minutes. My thoughts are fresh from the dream realm. And before I step into today's world, I am going to talk about the realm of thinking that I've just come from. In fact, it's been on my mind heavily the last few days. It's always been on my consciousness in some way, shape, or form, as long as I've been speaking about these things. And in a way, it's always been a part of me as long as I've been alive on this planet. And perhaps without doubt, this knowledge, this warning that I'm expressing to you seems to be something that has a life of its own beyond this particular incarnation. It seems to be part of a larger abstract web of knowledge that the human species needs, that I believe that I have had in another time and space. Earth is under occupation. We see a lot of concern about this nation about to be occupied, or that nation about to be attacked or struck with physical weapons, physical missiles, physical men, mortal men. We hear about these things in the physical realm. We read about history, the horrific things that have been done, especially to women, and we talk about the silence. We talk about the silence in this world that men and especially women have in relation to the horrific crimes being committed against other women, and we start to ask ourselves about the nature and the spirit of pure evil and contempt for humanity that actually lives in the bodies of many Homo sapiens today, as we talk about this collective spirit, this infection of even the mind that has swept the planet. It's infected some of our parents. It's affected some of our children. It's affected people around us. This callous, apathetic, as long as it doesn't happen to me, I don't want to hear about it, and I will view those telling me about it as evil. This spirit of evil is very strong on the planet right now, and it is evident to me. It is evident to me that I am on a planet that is basking in an overall spirit of evil, because there's something that I have to learn from it, but I also have to figure out how to evolve beyond this realm of reality, this realm of physical reality, whether it be the particular time that I happen to be on Earth or the Earth itself. Because the Earth itself has a magnetic field, as do our own human bodies. They have an aura. They have a magnetic field. They have an eggshell of magnetic protection around them. But if we are vibrating at a particular level, at a particular rate, at a particular frequency, then we're going to be where we vibrate at. And if we're in an area where there are certain things going on, maybe there's something that we have to learn about the human experience that we may not already know, or we have to figure out how to evolve our behaviors to get to that beautiful collective consciousness type of utopia. But I think what is more important is that we focus on the individual shift above all else. I mean, realize that by doing good in a world where there is suffering, where there are people being raped, where there are people being murdered, where there are people even being eaten alive, because our lifetimes are not done yet, ladies and gentlemen, and we are facing more than one crisis on this planet. And there's plenty of time to pass for things to come to pass. And it is only a mindless, ignorant fool, be it a man or be it a woman, that thinks that this is the pinnacle of the consciousness shift in consciousness. Anyone that thinks that we have made it, in my opinion, has already been polluted with satanic, energetic influences inside them and around them. Only someone with views that can be likened to a satanic worldview. Do as thou wilt. Only worry about yourself. Have fun, have lots of fun at other people's expenses. Show off your ego. Show off what you're good at and what you're better at than other people so that you can be seen as better than them, whether it be the way that you dance or the way that you walk or the type of dresses that you wear or how you look after you put the makeup on or how you look, after you put on, a particular piece of clothing or after you buy a sports car. Men and women on this planet right now are showing themselves, to the most part, to be completely taken over by this spirit of evil, which can be seen by the apathy, but a general anger, resentment, and finger pointing towards the real light workers, not the counterfeit ones, not the ones that claim they are, right? 10,000 books on how you can have everything you want on this planet, even if it's evil, even if it deals with taking from others, not harnessing that power to truly give back and help a lot of people. So we can see it evident in the way that people are judged for trying to bring light to the things that are taking place. And for those of you that are on that path, and you keep waiting for other people to give you acceptance, you keep waiting for your mother to love you, you keep waiting for your father to love you, you keep waiting for your son to love you, you keep waiting for your daughter to love you. Family is family, but you've got to realize that a lot of our reincarnations with these family members is to help teach them. And that's a difficult thing for people to hear if you believe that your children are below you and that they have no information and they have no value and the lessons that you have learned, the things that you have learned are the only things of value. And unfortunately, we do live in that type of a realm, top-down, pyramidal, I rule you, I control you, you came out of my bosom, you came out of my penis, I brought you into this world, I can take you out. And even though we should respect our elders and we should respect our parents and we should respect our ancestors, there is a difference between respecting that which came before us and that which played a part in giving us life, because ultimately the Almighty gave us life. Our parents were the vessels, and all they did is take off their clothes, got a hard on, or got wet, and they did a little fucking. And then at some point, the sperm met the egg, the baby was developed. 9 months later, a woman was screaming in a hospital, or maybe smiling, naturally holding onto a tree the way it should have been, out in the middle of the boonies in a bathtub, and maybe singing. However the birth was given, the human beings, us as human beings, we're vessels. We're not actually tinkering with the chemistry. We actually, few of us, really know where life comes from. Although there are many people that say they believe and that they know where life comes from. But if they truly did, they wouldn't be acting in the way that they do on this planet right now. If they truly knew the beauty of life and that which creates all life, they wouldn't behave with such anger and such judgment. So the vibrational frequency on the planet is such that certain energies have been allowed to coexist here on this planet. And I've always suspected that it's a part of our growth to learn about these things and learn ultimately the power of how to decapitate demons in a spiritual realm. That our power of our minds, by our very willpower, we can actually, instead of be attacked by these beings and attacked by these systems which come from the dark beings. The dark side is running the New World Order. It's not the Rockefeller. I hear people talking about the Rockefellers dying off and the older generation dying off and a new generation waking up. The dark side has to be dealt with. As long as people are into their generational civil war, divide and conquer, it's your fault, and these are the saviors, these are the ones to blame, and these are the saviors, you're still not getting it. You might as well be in a paradigm of man versus woman or woman versus man. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You're missing the point of how the dark side divides us all. If you believe, when you look around the world at these announcements with Syria, and you look around at these announcements of a new world order, of trillions of dollars being taken from the United States that we cannot pay back yet, and you think that this is an expression of the collective shift in consciousness, they've already gotten you, and it's very possible that you may not be able to clean yourself up in this lifetime. There are many lifetimes that a soul may embark on where they are choosing to, in their own mind, work towards greater consciousness or ascension, or to be back with God, or to be in an angel form. And for a lot of human beings, it takes more than one lifetime. And I know that I've learned certain meditation practices. I've learned particular martial arts techniques, certain breathing techniques. I've learned of certain ideas about the true nature of God and the true nature of the dark side in another lifetime. And I have had things happen in this lifetime that has activated those memories that are built in to whatever I call this body, or this merger of body, mind, and spirit and soul. There's spirit, but there's soul. Spirit's more, working with the body and whatnot. Soul is far deeper than that, far more complex and connected to something far higher than most of us can conceive, but we may imagine. But it's difficult to know what it's really like with the point of observation that we're coming from, with the cerebral cortex having certain limitations. So I believe that it's possible that I'm not done here with my work, because I see how much more work I have to do. I see how much more I have to grow, to believe in myself, to be at that ability where I am effectively decapitating demon after demon after demon. You might be thinking about a scene from Conan the Barbarian. You might be thinking about a scene from Lord of the Rings. It's funny because in spirit I'm thinking the same thing. And it may not be a literal physical decapitation, it's completely etheric, but we see these themes in mythologies that for a reason strike a chord in our very being. And to be able to put your hand up and say no to the dark forces, to be able to ground yourself and ground other people and ground particular parts of the planet and send it peace, to surround it with white Christ light, and ask the angels to descend, the angels of light, to ascend to where they need to be. Will it be descending from the heavens or ascending? Maybe that's just in our mind. We're just thinking up and down because there's the sky up here and there's the ground here, and we really don't need to get to ascend, descend, or things that specific, but to manifest and to work their miracles. And to become a miracle worker yourself, not just learn how to call out for assistance and to earn that assistance, but to be an angel in human form yourself, to wield that flaming sword by your side and literally make the dark beings that are around your hometown, around your city, run from you. How many times have I gone into really dark bars and have had all the inhabitants in there turn around, look at me without actually knowing who walked in, but just feeling me and being sent that psychic attack that you don't belong here. What is he doing here? I can almost feel the demons around the drunk saint. Is he going to hurt us? What is he doing here? What are they seeing about me that I can't see about myself at the time? And as I reflect now in my 33rd age of life, at all those times I faced those judgments from those dark entities, if I was dark the way my parents believe I am a dark being, because I speak what I speak, since they have disowned me for the messages that I present that they are bothered by. And they have attacked me also, almost on a psychic attack level, sending me their hatred, their disgust, their lack of approval. If Alex Ansary is evil, why are the evil ones infuriated when I walk into their midst? As if they feel threatened, as if I'm going to do something to them. And there are times where I've had to really apply my mind to something, whether it be something in my own life or trying to accomplish a goal, and I have accomplished it, and I've been able to bring good things into my life. But I've also been in many situations with police where I've been able to keep dark beings that maybe that may have the potential to do me harm. I've kept those negative beings out of my field. Bullhorning in downtown Portland post 2006, there were a lot of things that I did that I can see someone else doing the same thing get arrested for. I've also seen people on YouTube doing similar things and being protected in cases where I would feel nervous to do things in a similar set of circumstances. where I can see those particular activists, they're confronting those particular people with microphones. I don't see those people as agent provocateurs, as unspiritual, unclean, unperspective beings do. I see those beings, those human beings doing the work of God and exposing the satanic agenda. And thus, because they're walking in the light and they are extracting information